Uh, and now I bring you to an option where if you like mathematics and you don't want to leave it, so we have an option for all of you also where you can do PCMB. So I now invite, correct? I now invite Parmi Dedia Gala to speak to you about clinical pharmacy, where she's done it from NIMS University and she was our university topper. Then she was an assistant manager to clinical pharmacy at Hinduja Hospital and an internal assessor for NABH. And as you know, most of our hospitals now need an NABH accreditation. So she's the one whom you have to catch if you ever need one. I'll just hand over the mic to her.
Okay, adding to what Riddhi said, it's not that I liked maths. I never liked maths. I barely managed to, just managed to get through in 10th, 12th. But it is an advice now after, practicing for 7 or 8 years, after clearing my master's. It's a genuine advice to you all. Do not leave maths at any given point of time, even if you don't like it. So derivative integration, I can understand, is bothering you all when you all are in 12th. But all the other things, statistics, probability, even simple maths, you will always require that throughout your career in any profession that you are. So I had it in the syllabus in my 10th, 12th, my 4 years of B Pharm, my 2 years of M Pharm. But I've been practicing for 7 years, and every project that I do or every patient that I see, I need maths to calculate the dose or to analyze some data. So do not skip maths at any given point of life. You may just manage to just have an acquaintance to it. I work as an assistant manager, hospital and clinical pharmacy at PD Hinduja Hospital, Mahim. What exactly is pharmacy? It is basically to do with medicines, all about medicine. From the time a new medicine is researched to the time it is manufactured, it is packaged, it is labeled, it is marketed in the in the market. It gives you information about how to use the medication. After you start using the medication, we have like these post-market surveys, which tells you how the medication is. How is it giving you any side effects? Are you doing well with the medicine? So every word that I put here is a career in itself in pharmacy. So after you do your basic 4 years of graduation, you can take up any of these fields and make a career in this. The process remains similar. You have to take 12th science. One good thing about pharmacy is you can enter with PCB or PCM. So physics, chemistry is compulsory. You may have taken biology or you may have taken maths. But the advice is take all 4 subjects. Do not skip maths in 12th. After doing 12th science, you can do diploma in pharmacy, which is a 2-year program, or you can do a 4-year program in that is Bachelor of Pharmacy. Sorry, 4 years program, which is Bachelors of Pharmacy. There is an additional course which is available currently, is a 5-year Pharma Tech program, which I think SVKM gives, which is a 5-year program which includes B Pharm plus MBA. So once you finish your diploma, you can enter Bachelors of Pharmacy in the second year. So if you do your diploma, your total graduation will be 5 years. If you take up direct graduation, it will be 4 years. It is always advisable to take a direct graduation. But for whatever reason you don't get through and you still want to pursue pharmacy, the second way to do is to take diploma and then to enter graduation. After you finish your graduation, you have several options for masters. You have masters in 6 subjects that we have in India, which is a 2-year program, Masters of Pharmacy. Or you can do an MBA. So MBA can be any of the core subjects that any other professional would also take. It could be HR, marketing, finance, pharmaceutical, or hospital. So you understand all these things, like you need all of them in a hospital or you need all of them in a company. To run a company, you need an HR department, you need a finance department, you need an accounts department. So when you have a core graduation in the field that you're working with an MBA, you have an advantage over the other person who would come as a BCom MBA. So currently the new flourishing MBAs, after doing pharmacy or doing any of these courses, like you can do MBBS or any other paramedical course and take up MHA, that is management and hospital administration, or after doing pharmacy, you can do pharmaceutical administration. What do these do? They run the hospital. They are the administrators in the hospital or in a company. After 4 years of pharmacy, you can also opt of giving your GRE TOEFL and going to US, or giving your IELTS and going to the UK. Um, so one advantage is that you need a 16-year education if you want to go abroad, which easily you get it in pharmacy because you finish it, like you have 12 plus 4, which is 16 years. And you have a number of colleges in the US, good colleges which offer you master's program, and the jobs after that are really rewarding. I mean, the scope of pharmacy abroad is very good. In India, it is flourishing. Other options would be you have 6 months or 1 year programs in clinical research or pharmacovigilance. Uh, Clinical research is basically when a drug comes in the market, you test it on patients, you test it on normal individuals or on animals. So if you are interested in that, then you can take up clinical research. And pharmacovigilance would be basically to observe the effect of the drug after it already comes in the market. Say, for example, Crocin is something that has just been launched. So you want to know how Crocin is, giving you benefits or what side effects it is giving. So it is all studying about that. So where all can you work after you do pharmacy? One is obviously community pharmacy that you see the retail shops. Now the trend is changing from retail to online pharmacies. You have so many online pharmacies, and they don't only not only give you the medicines at your doorstep, but they also give you a lot of information about the medicine. So so when you go to a doctor, like we have so few doctors in India, and the patient load is so much that they can't give you enough time. So they may write a prescription and give you, but you would never know what medicine you're taking and for why you are taking those. So it is important for somebody to tell you that, okay, this is for my pain, this is for my fever. So this is where we come into the picture. In a hospital, I'll take that later. Okay, pharma industry. Like I told you initially, from the time it is researched, a drug is researched, say Crocin contains paracetamol, it is researched, it takes a span of say 10 to 14 years to make one drug, to do all the studies that are involved in it. Then you launch it in the market. How will you market it? How will it reach the patient, the supply chain, the distributors, the pharmacy, everything? All that is pharma industry. So you can get into that. Another option would be you get into education, teaching, research, medical tourism. India is a very good country for medical tourism. So the whole concept is like, say I live in the US. The medicine there is really good, but probably it's very expensive for me. I cannot afford it. So I come to India because India has good doctors. So I come with my family, I like say I'm the patient, I get treated, but along with it, like I have my family who comes along with me. So you have tourism attached to this entire medical purpose. And of course, business development. Hospital I came to last because this is what I practice. I'm into patient care, I'm into quality audits. So, like, let me tell you what my day is like in a hospital. So, now few hospitals have this concept of having a clinical pharmacist in the hospital. Basically, we accompany the doctors on rounds. We have a concept of a multidisciplinary team that goes to every patient, say in the ICU. So you have an intensivist, which is an ICU doctor. You have a nurse because she takes care of the patient. She is with the patient 24 hours. The doctor just comes for 10-15 minutes and he would go away. So the nurse is somebody who would update with all these things. Then we have a microbiologist because we have so many infections that are there. So he updates, okay, this is the organism, these are the antibiotics that you may give. And we have a dietitian and we have a clinical pharmacist. So the dietitian would decide the diet depending upon the clinical condition of the patient. And as a clinical pharmacist, my role would be to suggest these are the medicines that we can give. This is a dose adjustment that needs to be done. For a patient, say I have a liver problem or I have a kidney issue, then what dose I have to alter, from the regular doses, any side effects that are seen, any drug interactions, because in a hospital, you have a patient on 10 to 15 medication. So are there any drugs interacting? Are they really giving some effect to the patient? Patient counseling. So how, say for example, patients use devices, say insulin pen or inhalers. So I'm supposed to explain them, make sure that they take the medicine in the right way, otherwise it's not going to work. Besides this, I do quality audits. So prescription errors, medication errors, adverse drug reactions, all these things. So say I go through every prescription in the hospital, I identify if there are any errors, say a dose has been missed out to be written or it's incorrect, or any error. Suppose a nurse has administered the patient but has administered a wrong patient, or administered a wrong drug to the patient, or was supposed to be given through injection but has given orally. So this is all what I do in the hospital. I basically audit the other functions in the hospital. The subjects that you will have in your B.Pharm are pharmaceutics. It's basically how to make all these formulations that you get outside, tablet, capsule, syrup, etc. So we used to have 6 hours lab, and we used to make all these things. You know, we've made cosmetics also. Pharmacology is basically how the detailed knowledge of the medicine, how it acts in the body. Pharmacognosy is basically medication that you get from plants. Chemistry, algebra, statistics, clinical pharmacy, that is rational use of medication, anatomy and physiology. So these are the sites that you can go through. There are 3 government colleges in Bombay. Rest all are private or autonomous colleges. Admission process I've already told you. And yeah, like I said earlier, please do not leave maths. It's really important. All the analysis that I do today, I require maths even on a regular basis. So initially I was only involved in the quality audits and the drug use in the patient, but now I also look into supply chain of medication, as in from the time it comes, like a doctor has prescribed a medication, I have to find a source from where, trying to scrutinize which company to get it from, check their certifications, their GCP norms, their government norms, get it to the pharmacy and deliver it to the patient. So yeah, thank you.
I thank all of you for enlightening our children. Also, parents, please be open about sending your children out of Bombay for their education. If you want to be restricted about the place, then be rest assured it may not be the best place for your child to do that education. So one request to all the parents is kindly open your mind to sending your children anywhere, provided the institute that they acquire the education is good. So that's one thing that is a request to all the parents.